Rotation, rotation, rotation. That is a needed component of a sustainable bull market over time, and we're getting more rotation. We saw some into the retail space today, out of some of the, the bigger names, the popular names, the growth names that have been doing so well, and into some retail. And the retail sales have been fantastic, and the retail stocks have not gotten any love. So today, and last week they've broken out. I'm going to show you that in a minute. But first, I'm going to go through the indexes. This is the Nasdaq. This week, Thanksgiving week. Today's Monday, November 25th, and Thursday is Thanksgiving. It's usually a quiet week, a lower volume week. We have a half day Friday. We're off Thursday, so it's a truncated week. We have Tuesday and Wednesday, and then off Thursday, and then a half day Friday. But today it was up 51 points, or 0.27%. Closed at 19,054. And look at the volume, 26% above the average 50-day volume. So volume still coming into this market here on the Nasdaq. So this looks, really healthy, really good. It's just pulled back to the 21, and now it closed today a tick above the 5. So very strong tape for the Nasdaq. That was not the story today, and neither was the SPY. The SPY is trying to get back up to that, well, 600. If I go to the S&P, it'll be 6,000. I should go to the actual index. You can see the big volume here on the S&P as well. Today closed just a tick below that 6,587. It was up 18 points or 0.3%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 440 points or 1%. You can see big volume coming in today in these stocks. I'm going to get to these in a minute here. But first, I wanted to show the Russell 2000, which was the star of the show. Lower rates, the yields going down. This is a breakout here on the Russell 2000, and I've got to go to the TNA because if I play the Russell, I want the leveraged ETF, and this is TNA. You can see the breakout here to new highs. This was up 4.5%. This is 3 times leverage to the Russell 2000 index there, corresponding to 3 times the Russell is TNA. So that's if you want to add a little juice to your trading. But anyway, it all looks good on all levels of the indexes. I will go back to the Nasdaq because I wanted to just show one more thing, and that is the the relation to the 53.2% above the rising 50. So it's just in a healthy space there, right in the middle of the fairway. 1.1% above this magenta line, which is the 21. So everything is looking really good for our stock market going into not only this week, but year end. All right. I mentioned that, the Dow Jones had a lot of strength today and strong names in the Dow. This is Procter and Gamble, not typically a stock that I follow. It's a little steady Eddie, but got an upgrade today and was up, which helps push the Dow Jones up. Nike, of course, the retail names were up. This has been down so long. A 2.4% move today. Maybe it's decided to bottom there. That's 70 level. Retested here recently. I don't know. Nike maybe wants to bottom and head another direction. Sherwin-Williams is a new addition to the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is breaking out today, nearly a 3% move right there at that 400 level. We'll see if it can blast through there. That's a nice consolidation pattern, a pullback below the 50. And now it's got 3 soldiers heading north. All right. McDonald's, definitely a retail name. Food group. You got to look at the weekly on this one. This looks like a big cup with handle, yeah, with a shakeout last week. So McDonald's looks pretty good as well. And of course, Amazon is the big retailer. I mentioned that retail, it's a Dow Jones component and a retail stock, and definitely had a nice move today. They had some news, but up 2.2%. Once again, it had this bull wedge pattern here as it pulls back. And then pop today. So Dow Jones looking good, the SPY, the Nasdaq, and I guess since we're discussing the Nasdaq a little bit, there's just a couple of names on here that I really like in the Mag 7. One is Tesla, which pulled back to its 5 today, not a big deal. It's super political right now, and gosh, I do not like it when my investments bleed into the political arena, and you just can't help it with this one. The CEO's kind of thrusted himself into the political arena, and of course, there's going to be pushback. California is getting involved, so yeah, I don't. That's not my. I don't really like that. It's unavoidable with that stock. NVIDIA, a lot of people, a lot of eyeballs on this one. It's got a nice looking chart, trading tight, and then it had earnings last week. Everybody was expecting it to ramp. Of course, it didn't. It pulled back to the 50 today, which is fine. Yeah, probably find support there. But this to me, I don't want to call it dead money because certainly if you've had it for a long time, this has been a fantastic stock. But I think you could do better elsewhere. I mentioned, the names in the semiconductor space that are doing a little better here is A-Lab, a younger name, right? Just came out this year. Investors are flocking to these newer merchandise than the old, NVIDIA. I mean, it's a 3.5 trillion market cap, so it's going to be hard to move this thing. And Estera is only a 17 billion. So, it's just I don't know. It just depends on your time frames, your goals, your style, your tolerance, your entry price. All that factors into your trading. I sold NVIDIA because my goal every year is just to beat the S&P 500. I don't need to make 100% every week or anything like that. That's not my goal. I just try to beat the S&P. Many people think that's a really challenging things to do, but as individual investors, we have the ability to go in and out of stocks. So I think that's an advantage we need to use, and not sit through, downturns if we can avoid it, which obviously we can. All right. I'm going to get off my soapbox here and stop preaching and just, find out what's going on in the market today. What happened? Where's the money flowing to? And we see this XRT, which hadn't done anything in a long, 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 long time. And now it's trying to break out here. It did it on Friday. And the retail sales numbers have been fantastic. And this thing has done nothing, which is really frustrating. If you're into retail like I am. And I'm going to go through some of the components of retail, like a Carvana is a name in the XRT, and this one's just making new highs. Looks fantastic. Warby Parker is another one that's in the XRT, one of the top 10 holdings. Victoria's Secret is a top 10 holding, breaking out, making new highs and pull back today. Abercrombie and Fitch is a top holding. They report tomorrow. Looks like, I don't know if you bear with me here, maybe trying to break above a downtrend line here. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. They report tomorrow, like I said. All right. Anyway, more retail names. I love the retail space. It's easy for me, to figure out, retail stuff. I know Decker sells Hoka and Uggs brand shoes. I see them everywhere. It's pretty easy to follow a retail name in comparison to like a semiconductor or a software name. Some of these software stocks, I have no idea what they actually do. But I know the stock goes higher, so I trade them technically, not because I know exactly what they do. Same with On Holdings, ONON, just like Decker's making new highs today. By the way, I think Decker's will have, I think it'll have resistance at 200. But anyway, the move from 150 to 200 in a very short period of time is a nice move. So if you own that one, congrats. That's a really nice move. We had this on our ready list last week, took it off this week because it's a little extended. And I believe it'll probably have a little resistance at 200. All right, let's move on to On Holdings, again, making new highs. And delivering solid, 23, 27, 43% sales growth, and just being rewarded for being a good company. CROX, this one I believe I mentioned last week, I think below 100, it's kind of a steal there. If you got it below there, it's got a gap in the chart at 135. Could this thing run right back up to 135? Yeah, the high on this day was 117. The low on the 28th was 135. Why not? It's got a lot of resistance, a lot of overhead supply, but I don't see why it's not going to fill that gap there. Not anytime soon, but in time. I believe it will fill the gap. It was up 2.3% with a nice strong volume today. So CROX looking much better. All right. WWW. This would have been a great stock in the 90s. Wolverine Worldwide. This is military footwear, rugged outdoor. I got to be honest with you. I don't have any Wolverine stuff, but I don't even know what they sell. All I know is the stock's making new highs. A gap tire pull back. There's that bull wedge back to the 5 and now making new highs. Wolverine looks good. I mentioned Carvana. Oh, RVLV. This one is fashion millennial Gen Z consumers revolve group. Once again, this is a something that probably easy to follow. I don't know what they do. The stock goes higher though, up nearly 9% today with volume, big volume coming into RVLV. So that stock looks good as well. And then BKE Buckle, and this one making new highs as well. Let's take a look at the weekly on Buckle. This one was back in the day a huge runner. And it's been going sideways, as you can see, for a long time, but now popping higher. So looks pretty good in the retail apparel shoe space. All right, that's it for retail. I'm going to move on because I did mention software, and there was hit and miss in software today. A lot of upgrades that didn't really pan out. This is Team. I think I had this on my ready list. If not, I should have. I'm not sure. I don't have it in front of me. Yeah, I had it on my ready list. The reason why is because of the stage one base here. It looks pretty good to me. Yeah, it was flat on the session, but still, even if it, pulls back to its 5, I think this one looks pretty darn good here. Yeah, give it some time here. It's 2.4% above the 5. Nice, huge consolidation there on team ESTC. This is one that, the guy from Wedbush, he's just a big cheerleader. He's upgrading these stocks every day. And it really, it's like the boy who cried wolf. I mean, how many times you can say I'm bullish on AI? ESTC had a big day on Friday following earnings, 14.7% move. Today just had an inside day. It was up 3.19%, and that's an inside day. But I did mention Dan, and he was upgrading a bunch of software names. Palantir was one. Palantir, man, I did put this on my red list. I like it above if it wants to make new highs above 66. You got to like new highs, right? New highs are bullish, but all I did today was gap up at the open on that upgrade and then sell off all day. So um, close the gap. I guess that would be one positive, but yeah, that's not the type of action you want to see. And really, realistically, this should just form a shelf. I mean, if it wants to make new highs, which it did today, and continue to make new highs, it could be used as a trade, up to, I don't know, 70. It would be, or 72 would be what, a 10% move. Wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, close near the lows, 15% of the daily range. So near the lows of the session today. Datadog is another one. Has been just a rock star. We had this on our ready list last week. Took it off because it's extended, yeah, 9% above the 5. And yeah, it was still up today. So nice move for Datadogs. App had to sell app today, didn't want to, but you know what? Some of these are getting long in the tooth, and most of the meat is off this bone here. And I sold a lot of stuff because I've had a great month of November and I don't want to give it back. And so that's my goal right now is just kind of protect my gains and kind of look around, shop around, and take advantage of the rotation. And yeah, so I sold a lot of stuff today, App 11 being one of them. I also sold Vert since I'm going to disclose my selling because the 5 is curling lower and it undercut the 5 and just it's time to take profits for me. Go Friday's Black Friday, so people are going to be shopping, they're going to take profits and sell some stuff and go shopping. VST, very similar to VRT, undercut the 5. The 5's curling lower, so to me it's just like time to take profits. GEV was upgraded today. I think it had a couple of upgrades, still sold off $20, so it's adios muchachos for me. I don't care if it hits the 20 and bounces to new highs. Made money on the trade. I'm moving on. So anyway, I was up 95% invested on last week at some point. And I thought, man, this is the most I've been invested in a long, long time. Got it down to, I think, 85 over the weekend and really reduced this morning. on that gap higher on the Nasdaq. All right, so that's enough of my crap. Anyway, GoDaddy, another stock that I like. It's doing nothing wrong. Probably going to have resistance there at 200. Hit 200 today and just pulled back. Let's take a look at this on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, there it is in the morning. These morning gaps, they're good for selling. Sell these spikes, right? Well, that's about a half hour into the session. Yeah, okay, an hour into the session, then it just kind of sold off. But GoDaddy, if you follow me very long, you know how much I like this stock. Doing nothing wrong. And then PEGA, another software name, pull back to the 5 and then exploded to new highs today. There's that wedge pattern again that we see being rewarded, so often. A couple days of selling, relieving the pressure, rotation out, then rotation back in, up 4% today. All right, that's it for that group. I want to go to the defense, not that I want to, but I just have to show what's going on in the market today. Normally, I don't show stocks below 10 bucks. Making an exception here. This one's up 24%. And I posted this morning in my group that usually on Thanksgiving week, you see a lot of meme stocks, junk stocks. You just see a lot of wild moves that are unexplainable. And this is one today, Archer up 25%. So anyway, congrats to the longs. If you own that one, Rocket Lab did have news today, and it was up. Oh, okay, only 3.5%. It was up a lot more than that. So I want to say it closed in the lower half of its daily range, maybe up 45%. Okay. Not bad. And another one is JOBY, another one under $10, a defense name that's just breaking out above that 769 area. So that would be an area of interest for this aerospace and defense. That's a stage 1 base that it's breaking out of here. Nice 15% move today. Okay. All right, that's it for aerospace and defense. I got to go to the home builders, which is a beaten down, group for the most part. This is Toll Brothers, which is breaking out of a base. I should have had this on my red list as well. Why? Well, it's shown the ability to move higher. It's consolidated in a base recently. It's trading tight within the base, traded down to a moving average, and now it popped a little bit on Friday. And then today, big move higher, 6.5%. But I didn't put it on. I screwed up. So that's my bad. Another one that I was going to put on and I didn't is this residential, building construction material product, the AZEK, up nearly 5%. You can see why I like it. It's been consolidating in the base here and decided to move out, but I didn't put it on. So that's the way it goes. Oh, Pulte Homes. Another one that had a nice day today. You can see been punished lately since, yeah, okay, the 19th, 18th, 19th, okay, of October. Sold off after the elections right here, yeah, on the 6th, and kind of formed a bottom here. Now popped above the 50. DHI, looks, kind of similar. It's below the 50 though. Just a lot of these home builder and home builder related names, wood names. This is a builder first source, rallied above its 50. You can see it's still consolidating within a base here. Let's take a look at the weekly on builder. This has been a monster stock for a long, long time. Just look at the monthly. Phew, man, since the financial crisis, this thing's just been a beast. Anyway, I wouldn't say broke out today. It's still in consolidation, but it did trade above its 50. So it undercut the 50 and today rallied back above. So that's a good sign. The Woodstock LPX, Louisiana Pacific. We have a lot of homes being built here. And all the sideboards is all LPX being delivered all over the place. Every home has got to have that board. Let me see here. Oh, RMAX. This is like a real estate company, real estate service, REMAX, and this one broke out of a base here. 1368 would be the standard buy point. You can see it undercut the 50, rallied hard Friday, and rallied 6% again today. So that one looks good. JLL, this one had an upgrade today. Another real estate development management services company making a sharp move, nearly 8% today on that upgrade. Anyway, that's it for the housing, defense, software, retail. I'm going to move on to one of my favorite trades. It's the boomer trade. The boomers taking distributions out of their 401k, and they're living their best life, spending their children's inheritance, flying around, booking vacations. This is Alaska Air. Really, really consistent pattern here is it consistently pulls back and bounces, consistently pulls back. It's the bounce, right? Pulls back, it's the bounce, pulls back, it's the bounce, pulls back, it's the bounce. Pulled back on last week and then bounced today. So Alaska, very consistent pattern there. UAL, United Airlines, this one is soaring into the wild blue skies. Man, United Airlines. Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Delta Airlines, this one has their hub in Atlanta. One of my friends has worked there for a long, long time. At Delta, nice little pullback here to the 10 and then pop. Very nice for Delta. And of course, I've got to go to the cruise lines because they're taking cruises all over the, Europe and South America and Africa, wherever they're going all over the place. China, doesn't matter. Go on vacation, spend your kids' inheritance. That's the theme. Anyway, this one pulled back to the 21 and popped. Norwegian Cruise Lines, CCL, another one. This is Carnival. Man, forming a little shelf here. That looks pretty good. I think RCL was down today. Barely. Anyway, it's just surfing its 5. These ones look fantastic. Viking reported last week, had a little hiccup, and then stabilized, just pulled back to its 21. That one looks good too. Up 1% today. We'll take 1%. And anyway, that's it for my boomer trade for today. I'll stop right there and go to the food group, Brinker International, a stock that nobody talks about. No, I never hear anybody talk about Brinker, but I hear the margaritas are great at Chili's. You know, you got to love the stock going higher. This is a really easy company to follow. If you've ever been to Chili's or Maggiano's, you can see the traffic and you can see the stock making new highs up, over 4% today. And this, I would consider this in the retail. It's just a retail restaurant. This is Sweet Greens making new highs. Man, you got to love that. What did Kava do today? Okay, flat. Pull back to the 21. Not bad. Kava looks fine. DoorDash followed me at all. I like this one of my holdings, and yeah, just doing nothing wrong. Actually, did I have this on my ready list? I believe I did. The reason why is because I like that 178. It made a high of 178.16 on this date here. Yeah, November 13th, and it did this like wedge pattern like we've talked about here. Pull back to the 10. I have that on the 5 and the 21, but trust me, that's the 10 there. Then bounced a little last week, and I put it on this weekend or Monday morning. It was up a little bit, but I like it above that 178.16. It closed above it today. I wasn't really following this one today. Okay, sold off, spiked up, sold off, and then buyers into the close, which is what you want to see. Okay, DoorDash looks fine. Let me see what else. Oh, Bros, another one that I like a lot. Longer term, this one, once again, I mean, if you just kind of train your eye here, you see gapped up on earnings and it didn't undercut the low of the gap day. Pulled back a couple of days to the 5, popped, pulled back a couple of days to the 5. Today it was up 1.39%. Not a big move, but just continually getting support at the 5. So that's a really strong stock that can do that. And then DRI. DR Horton, Olive Garden, yeah, nice pop today, 4.5%. Let's take a look at the weekly on Olive Garden. Yeah, nice move, breaking it out of that base. So a lot of the retail names doing well, retail restaurants doing well. And now I'm going to move to the oil and gas space. MUSA Murphy it's got a retail component and it's got a gas component. I put it in the gas space, but I guess you'd consider it a retail. It's got those little, mini marts with a gas component. I don't know if you have them in your state. We don't have them in our state, but it was up over 1% today, so that looks pretty good. OII is another oil and gas field services stock that looks pretty good. I was going to put this on the red list, but it moved too much last week. Let that 5 catch up. But 30.45 is a standard buy point. That one looks pretty good. I continue to mention YPF because this is just a monster. It finally pulled back a little bit today. Yeah, almost 2%. So it's going to pull back to that 5 maybe and find support. I'm taking a look at that one as a possibility. EQT. Another one is oil and gas integrated names. Looks super strong above the 5. And then CTRA, this one pulled back a little bit today, back to the 5. And it closed, let's see if it bounces tomorrow. Does it pull back and close near the lows of the session, right? Yeah, 2% of the daily range closed right at the 5. So we'll see if that one bounces tomorrow. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Like I said, it's going to be a slow week, right? Not much volume. And look what happens. Way above average volume on the Nasdaq. So since the election, there's been a lot of interest in this market. It's been doing really, really well. At mcstockcharts.com. We never give up. Thank you for watching. Except for in honor of the great Steve Jobs, I must pay attention to some earnings reports. So I have one more thing, and that is earnings coming out today and tomorrow. Zoom is one. Agilent reported down 2% after hours. These are not, market moving, not even sector moving. These are just individual names that I'm showing you. Bluebird, this is the electric bus company, down 3.5% after hours. What else do we have? Oh, FLNC. They reported after hours up 3.5%, breaking out of that 23-21 base here, maybe, huh? We'll have to see. Alternative Energy Group. All right. And then SMTC. Simtech reported, whoa, up 12%. Nice breakout there tomorrow for Simtech. And then in the morning, I believe we have Abercrombie and Fitch. I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to wait. We'll see what happens. They should be doing pretty well, though. And the 20% sales growth would be expectations. I would think they could do that once again. Kohl's, we have a lot of retail names tomorrow morning. So the retail group popped today. They deliver the goods tomorrow, then maybe we can have a follow through again tomorrow. BBY reports in the morning. Okay, had a nice pop today. Just have to wait for the Macy's. They were supposed to report. I guess they delayed their report. They have issues trying to be the next SMCI, I guess. I don't know. Dick's Sporting Goods reports. I expect good numbers from them. This is just consolidating within a base. So they need good numbers. That stock can move with a good earnings report. It's shown that in the past. And here's Burlington, another one that I wanted to put on my red list, but it's just, it's got earnings up nearly 2% today. Nice pop on Friday. Could be some short covering into the close, but let's see where Burlington is here. Yeah, it's a nice consolidation, 12 weeks, stage 2 base. That looks fine. So I'll have all this information here in the morning. Thank you for watching at mcstockcharts.com. We never give up.